The Ride Home podcast is produced for entertainment purposes only. Anything said on the show is not to be imitated or acted upon. Please listen responsibly and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Ride Home podcast. And if you're on your ride home, pop in your favorite drive-thru. Get yourself a treat. You deserve it. I am joined here for another episode of the show. Today we are doing a Renaissance Fair recap, which is just a crazy story of last-minute plans that took place over the course of 24 hours. And I'm going to share that with some of that group right here. So I am Cruz, your host. And to my left, yes, we should go with, you are, fuck me.
All right, cut that
I am
out.
Cruz. I got it. I am Cruz, your host, and my first guest today is...
Hey guys, my name is Raz. How's it going?
Didn't screw that up at all. This was totally perfect. There was no editing
You didn't
done.
have to say that. You could have.
I didn't
just
edit
not said that
at
and just
all.
gone.
Welcome,
You
Raz.
just go.
Bruh. Welcome,
have to
Raz
pay
Grease. You're in the show now, Steve.
Hi, my name's Steve. I met Gandalf, and I'm gonna tell a good story about that.
I will fix it in post. I don't care how.
What? Just
You're fine. You're fine. I'm overthinking things. Y'all got me all like out of sorts here. This is just more work for me, so it's my fault in the long run. All right. So welcome to the show, Steve. And next up is...
Hey there, guys. It's your boy Illusion. I'm here, gonna bumble through Cruz's mishaps and all the shenanigans we're gonna go over about our Ren Fair weekend at Scarborough out in Waxahachie.
So yeah, you guys may remember Illusion from the last episode. He was there with our buddy Stromboli, and it was a really good episode. I feel it. I think that, bumbling aside, we're gonna get through it. We're gonna have the episode going. So, whose idea was it to even go on this thing in the first place?
Roz's definitely.
It was actually my idea. Me and my girlfriend were supposed to go together, but we were playing Jackbox or whatever that night, and it's about 11:50. I say, hey, I'm gonna go to sleep. There's a Renaissance Fair I'm gonna go to.
Wait, so this was decided what, like overnight?
No, this was
It was
decided.
It was decided
days.
like for
3
him. They were going earlier.
Yeah, this was decided for me and my girlfriend. This was decided 3 days prior, but
Okay, so 3 days for you guys.
right.
That would be for your group.
Yes. So we were playing Jackbox, and then I mentioned the Renaissance Fair. I posted a link in Discord, and like, oh my gosh, okay, this is cool, blah blah blah. One of y'all could take over from there. I don't know what transpired beyond
Oh, you did.
11:50.
Oh yeah, you popped out of the call for a bit there, didn't you?
I did.
So we were in call. We were just gaming, and we were about to shut it down for the night. And I don't remember. Was it Illusion? I think.
So
Somebody
yeah.
instigated this. Somebody poked hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
so-
Okay. So right after Raz had mentioned that he was hitting the hay for the night, gonna catch some Z's to rest up for the fair the next day. I'm super into that kind of stuff. I pester, as some of these guys know, I pester Steve about playing D&D all the time, like the Renaissance medieval stuff, like that type of fantasy thing. That is my shit. I love it. And I immediately looked up Scarborough Fair and was like, I need this in my life. This has to happen.
So I know a lot of people who work the fair, and I've been told to go for so many years. So I actually had an insight of what this would sort of be like. And I was actually genuinely curious. You know what I mean? Like, this seemed like a reason for me. It's like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Not a damn thing. Get up. Go be out in the sun for a day. And we all know
Yeah.
what that did to us.
Oh, we got too much sun. Jesus.
Yeah, we got a little too much sun. We had a little too much of a lot of things. It was a fantastic day, honestly.
I'm a pasty boy. I got sunburn like a mother.
My
What's sunburn?
arms are okay.
What's sunburn? Oh yeah, you would know.
Yeah, you're a little out there for sunburn. Raz is of a darker complexion than us, and he doesn't burn like we do.
Nope.
Now, my
Right.
neck and face got it pretty bad.
I have long hair, so my neck actually didn't get it. My forehead, though, was red as the leather like belt that I bought. It sucked.
Oh my god.
That's pretty red.
But yeah, the entire thing, the spontaneous. He brought it up. I googled what it was and was like, I need to go. I need the boys to go.
And now that's how this seems to work in our group. Like, if we plan something out for months in advance, there's always some kind of confusion and things don't go right. But
That is true.
the last minute, hey, get up at the crack of dawn, we go into the Ren Fair. Like
We all
that
went to
actually
bed at like midnight
I'm
or
out front.
later.
I'm out front of your house. Let's go.
exactly.
We were all
Which
up
is
to like
essentially how it was for Daniel because he wasn't ready in time.
he was like the last second person.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
I mean, you
like-
think we were last minute by like, okay, we got 7 hours till morning. No. This boy.
Yeah,
I was-
our good friend. Yeah, I name dropped him, but I don't know what he does online.
Call him Danny.
TCG.
No, we'll call him
Danny.
Danny Boy.
He's
Danny
already
boy.
been outed as Danny Boy Dan. It's that I'm not even gonna bother fixing that.
Anyways, Daniel was a last second.
I'll
add-on
ask
that
him
morning
and I
of-
may edit it.
I was like, so last, like legit, I was at the racetrack while y'all were planning this, picking up Danny. I'm like, bro, okay, I'm gonna go to your house, pick you up. Oh no, wait, Daniel's coming. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, yeah. So that transpired.
And to
Yeah,
be
this
fair,
one's the street.
Originally, we were all just going to hitch a ride with Roz, but
that's what I'm
when,
saying.
like 3 out, like not even like what 1 hour before he was heading to your place.
No, he was
Before
already
you-
on the road. He was already
he was
almost here.
We were like, nah, Danny wants to come, so I'm gonna go ahead and drive him. So we
now,
ended up 2 cars because we needed an extra body, or because we got an extra body.
now I will say, him going did do a little bit of good for us because we were already pretty cramped in that back seat. Can you imagine illusion in the back?
I would have rode in the trunk.
That is true.
Yeah, so
We would have
You
to
guys-
strap somebody to the roof.
That backpack would have been in my lap.
there's no images you can see here, but I'm a big boy. I'm a hefty man, and that would not have been a fun car ride for the rest of the passengers.
I can remember that one car ride back up from Austin.
Good times. We were so full from Wise Guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I passed out. I didn't give a crap.
Just slept right there, dead in the car.
Anywho, so we got there. What was it, like 8:30, 9 o'clock ish? We decided to meet up at the Waffle House.
Well, that was the attempt there. The unscheduled Danny Boy stop. That cost us a little bit of time, so we were waiting for a good like 20 minutes or so at the Waffle House. Which,
Yeah.
from the time we parked to the time they arrived, that Waffle House had a line out the door like it was opening day.
For real.
I think everyone who was going to that festival was hitting the Waffle House.
Honestly, I don't think it was festival people at all. I think it was more of just the locals, and that's how they do their Saturday morning.
Well, it's a small town, so
Yeah.
like
The Waffle
Yeah.
House gets destroyed.
that's just the morning ritual for probably most of those people out there because it's not like they have a ton of restaurants.
I mean,
And not to say it's like a complete rural town where there's nothing, but I mean when you have only so little restaurants to choose from, like the one being the only one there that's 24 hours is going to be packed already, and now you have a giant fair going on, so I don't think they were.
It was
And I-
pretty out there. But see,
Yeah.
I was cool with like waiting that 20 minutes there, and or sending somebody to recon someone else. And the Waffle House chick got like offended. She didn't have to pull the well. If you leave the property, I'm not giving you a table card. I'm like, ooh,
I mean, how many times have you ever been like, oh yeah, we're gonna reserve our seat at Waffle House?
For
It's like,
real,
Come
dude.
on, man.
But then again,
If
how
you-
many
like,
times?
if you leave, I'm
how
gonna
many-
give this to whoever's coming through the door. I don't give a fuck. I work at Waffle House. So we went to Whataburger instead.
Yeah, but like I'm just pointing it out. Like when also do you not go to Waffle House when it's not like 3 a.m. after a show?
Well, Waffle House be like that. Waffle House don't reserve seat, and it's first come, first serve.
I get it, but like, damn, small town Waffle House, that was pretty
I-
rough.
I
We just
will
wanted to see
say-
if we could eat somewhere else like now.
the Waffle House next to my house where I live rivals the Starbucks drive-through line in the morning as far as like people cramming into their parking lot to get inside the building.
I
That is
believe that
insane.
firsthand. Yeah, I
And
believe
they're
that
right next to
firsthand.
each other. It
I
is
finally got to have a hot and spicy chicken from Whataburger, and that made me happy. That was amazing.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Whataburger ended up being the right move because we didn't want to eat too much anyway because there's fair food to be had.
None of the Whataburgers around us have the spicy chicken. It's a rip.
All I ate was a biscuit and gravy. It was like $3 and it was barely filling, but it did the job. You know what I mean?
we'll sleep on biscuits and
But we,
gravy.
I think
Man.
Oh no, no,
We were-
absolutely not.
we just needed something to like keep our energy up until we had lunch because there was like a bunch of food at the Ren Fair.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
we were literally
that's-
just buying something cheap to hold us over to give us energy to make it till like the afternoon.
And make it we did because we had set off from the Whataburger and reached the eternal line from hell.
I feel like the biscuits and gravy. What did that cost you? Like $3-4?
Like $2.50.
Like $2.50, and then for like $6-7, you got that huge ass like, what was it, like hot dog?
Yeah, we'll get into what we ate at the fair as we get more closer to lunchtime, but we're still pretty early in the morning.
I thought the food prices were gonna be way worse than they were, but they were actually pretty decent.
Yeah, well, I mean that it's fair food, so it makes sense. I was surprised.
I
but,
have
like,
my own alternative.
I ain't never been to a fair. I was expecting arena prices and like what do you call it? Like when you go to like a concert in
Or
like,
like-
a closed area
or like
and they
the
charge you like
rodeo.
$13 for a fucking burger.
like the rodeo in Houston.
Yeah.
Daniel, Danny Boy, and myself got hoed, but as Drew said, I'll bring that point up. when
Yeah,
we
we'll get to
lunchtime
lunch and all
hour.
of those mishaps as
I had a
we
good
go
lunch.
forward. Anywho, where are we at? Where are we landing?
We
here?
just ate Whataburger. We're heading out to
Yeah,
the-
we reached the line from hell.
The Line Con, yay! Glorious fun.
It very much felt like a convention line, but it was just on an old county road. Like, I didn't expect it to be that packed. And I mean, it was opening day. Like, I just didn't expect that many people to get up that early for an event that goes for like 2 months straight, you know?
For real.
It's crazy for a day one thing.
It's never like that during actual conventions.
All right, so next up. Going inside the fair.
Oh my god, don't remind me. Holy crap, there was a sea of people, man.
Dude, when I do conventions, I
took us-
like
look,
you
it
remember
took
the
us
safety
forever to
and the
get in.
lines, right?
Yes.
At conventions that I've worked line control on, you got to make sure that lines to big events are set up. You know what I mean? That's like the registration line basically. So like you got to make sure that traffic is flowing and things aren't blocked, but man, it was just a madhouse. There was one, maybe two people walking around directing traffic, and they were in character. So they were trying to tell this guy with his wheelchair, you need to go to the front and they'll let you in, by telling him, he's like, you're in a carriage, sir. You should be leading the charge. You should take your carriage and go lead the charge. And he was like, I would love to, but I can't get in the building. And he's like, sir, your carriage, sir. It was rough. It was hard to watch. I had to look away. It was pretty out there.
I ain't gonna lie, some of that stuff was like kind of cringe to see.
The cringe
older
was laid
gentleman.
on.
Look,
If
I
one
was-
more person called me my lord that day, I was gonna just lose it.
Shut up, my lord. You've had too much to drink. I was completely okay with standing in line because it gave me more time to watch the belly dancers up top.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm with
Illusion.
Steven, yeah.
Illusion.
I
tell that
wonder what
story,
kind of
Illusion.
show they put on prior to the gates opening, because they were supposed to have done the like 9:45.
Well, I don't know, but next time I'm getting there as
Opening.
early as possible, and I would like to know the exchange rate of U.S. dollars to shillings.
I
He
believe
wants
it's
to make
dollar.
he
a
wants to make
shilling.
it hail on winches.
I am trying to make it hail on wenches the next time we go to Scarborough.
So when we finally made it into the damn place, first thing we noticed right off the bat, we should have bought the
Pixel.
map, and the guy was right. We had no clue. We
The
thought,
dude
you
straight
know,
up called you out too because
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
"You want a map?" And you're like, "Nah, I'm good." And he's like, "You sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And he's like, "All right, I'll be here for when you want it later."
he's like, "Oh, you'll be back." But no, I thought the
we
maps
we
on
ended
the
up getting a
inside.
map later, but not from him.
I thought the maps on the inside of the fairground would be easy to
I
read,
thought the
and
map
they
on my
were
phone
worse.
would work, but it was like the sun glare was so bad I could not see.
Oh yeah, it was rough. We're not used to the outside world.
It's not. I wouldn't say it wasn't that the like those like the stationary maps that they have were hard to read, but it was like as condensed as they could possibly make it, because walking the grounds versus what you saw on the map are almost entirely different things with how far apart things are.
Yeah, that place
That
was freaking huge, dude.
Because there
yeah.
like there was the points where we were standing there like, no, this says it's what was it, like
I think we were.
King's Road or whatever.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
why do they have to do that? Why is this King's Court, King's Square, King's Crossing? Or, you know,
Because
and then
fuck
over
you.
there, it's like Queen's Fair, Peasants Crossing, and I'm like, what's the crossing? What's the square? It was ludicrous.
We got in. You can go left or right, and there's the middle area. We wandered around the middle area looking for a bar because we immediately wanted to get drinks.
First things first, we needed
'Cause
ale.
we had our priorities straight.
Yes,
So
priorities.
we went forward and we're like, all right, we're not gonna go, because we saw a few smaller vendors of drinks, but they only had like Shiner and Bud Light.
like basic
No, no,
normal
no.
beer.
The beer that
want-
I could
We want
buy
beer,
for a
we want
couple
ale,
dollars.
we want mead, and so we were looking for the slightly bigger one, which was called like the King and Crown Inn or something like that. And
The Rosencrown, yeah.
the Rose and
The
Crown.
Rose and Crown.
We walked past it like twice.
The secret booze place, apparently, as we'll find out later in the show.
Yeah, we walked past that thing twice, and then we just kept moving on to the left. Eventually, we came to the place where they do the beer tasting, and we're like, oh, yeah, they're going to have the beers that are only available here. Turns out they hadn't busted open the kegs yet because they don't bust them open until like the first beer tasting, and none of us bought tickets to the beer tasting.
Not just that, I'm glad we didn't buy tickets to the beer tasting. So what we didn't realize was the fair does different themed beers every week. This theme was Beers of Texas. It was the worst week for a Texas beer drinker to go to the Ren Fair.
Like, we've had all these.
Exactly, and their like beer tastings was like Texas based. So we would have wasted money on that ticket regardless, and something told me not to do it when I saw the beer listing around the.
Well,
The fair.
they only give you, what, 5 beers, and it's usually like $7 to $8 a beer.
And by
Yeah, like
tasting,
Everywhere else.
by tasting, it could mean like, you know, a taste.
It's
An
yeah,
ounce.
and then for
a
$8,
couple ounce pour.
for $8 you get a full 12 ounces.
Well, in 8 they do 16 ounces. For
Yeah,
for $8.
sorry, Yeah, for $8 you get 16 ounces. So it was a much better deal to just buy the drinks.
And then
on
go to
their
the
own.
right pub, and you could get like the Spaten Optimator, the Left Hand Nitro Milk Stout, Guinness, as
Bro,
we
I-
found out.
Yes.
The fact that they had Guinness literally made my day. I had like 3 of those.
But yeah, after drinking with our plastic cups and wandering around, we knew that one of our first purchases, which happens way later in the day, one of
We
our
gotta
first
buy-
purchased had to be drinking mugs.
Yeah, we got to buy a horn. We got to buy a mug. We got to buy something because this feels wrong.
I am actually using said drinking mug to sip my bourbon and lemonade that I'm tasting right now.
Same.
Great
Oof,
stuff.
nice.
I got Malibu and lemonade.
I have lemonade.
Water.
Rip. Oh, bigger rip.
Raspberry
Rips all
lemonade.
around. So
Alexa, play Ave Maria for my boys.
we go wandering, right? And we find the leftmost area. So there's like 3 actual like courtyards. And the lefternmost one had a lot of the like midway games and a lot of the local artisans who like make things out of pewter and different metals and stuff like that. And these artisans, like, they are masters of a craft that is long gone. So getting to see some of them, like the fur trader and stuff, like everything in there was real. None of this was costumes, none of it was props. This was all genuine stuff. There were antique items, weapons. And granted, there are, plenty of stores where you can get more of the souvenir variety of thing. But dude, I was blown away by some of the real, like, actual artisan pieces there.
Wait,
Flintlock pistols, actual like
yeah,
real fur moccasins, and like beaver skin caps and whatnot.
you could get like an very old book style book, like what they used to carry back in the day.
Like leather-bound
Um,
journals.
Yeah.
Yeah, leather-bound journals. You could get like there was a scribe right there, like taking whatever you wanted down and transcribing it on the scroll for just like a safe as a souvenir of sorts. But I think the first thing that we saw wasn't it the swords, right?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say the first thing because everything just came out just like so fast.
That is true.
One of the first shops we went into, I remember, was the pewter shop
Yes.
Yes,
because we had
that's right.
just walked by like the Midway games and we're like, oh yeah, axe throwing, knife throwing. We're gonna go play with some of these.
Oh, there was the band we walked by right before that. Actually, before that it even happened.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the like Scottish
Celtic band.
Celtic. Yeah, it was very
Yes.
Celtic. I can't exactly. I don't know for offhand on any of this. That is not my area of expertise. But they were there. They were playing music. That was pretty cool.
It was some really nice, like just folk music.
I don't know, man. I don't think Queen is
Um,
folk music.
So for the those
Yeah.
listeners who know this genre,
Some of it was
uh,
cringy.
think of like bands for those listening. Like I'm probably butchering the name, but this is how I say it. Hopefully, you can hear this and Google it. Ensues. Um, that's as close to an example as I can think of what the band was playing there. Just like folk music. Later on, apparently they were threw in guitars, but we ended up coming back way later in the day, and they had already shut it down for the day.
And see, you also got to imagine they have to do like 2 or 3 sets a day, twice a weekend, for 2 months. Sometimes I was looking like in May they're gonna have like guest performers from other fairs and circles to come by and do their part. Like be there for a week, and it'd be different like groups. But they seem like one of like the main one that's there most of the weekends.
Yeah.
Silence.
Oh
No
yeah,
good.
y'all want to like talk about what y'all bought at the pewter shop?
So we go into the pewter shop like as the first like stop. You're supposed to talk. We're retaking. I can edit.
I'm sorry.
Now it all gets
You got to edit that
retake-
whole part out.
Oh,
'cause
I
you
know.
Retake these nuts, my dude.
We're done. We're going back in.
Anyway, the first shop we go into is the pewter shop, where Steven and myself, I believe, are the only ones who perused the wares and made a purchase.
Raz made a purchase as well,
I
I
believe
think.
Roz did as well.
Yeah.
I actually made a purchase over there. I saw those trinkets on the outside, which when hidden behind the walls, I'm like, okay, they're pretty cool. Because Illusion, you were looking at the tarot
Yeah, I was looking at
trinkets.
they have the tarot cards, but done as a like oh my goodness,
They're hand carved pewter.
Hand carved pewter
Brave-
necklaces.
brave-
Slabs.
Yeah. And then I bought a Gemini. Obviously, I'm a Gemini, so pewter necklace for myself. I don't know what Steven bought. I forgot what Steve. Oh yeah, Steve. What did you buy again?
I bought a pewter dragon's eye, which is they molded the pewter to look like the eyelid of a dragon, and then inside they had different colored stones. I bought the stone that had all the colors, so it's got like a rainbow dragon's eye in the middle of it. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna eventually get a chain for it as well. And I'm gonna be wearing that all the fucking time.
That was the shop where you met Gandalf.
Yeah, we met Gandalf right outside. And see, the funny thing was, while you guys were perusing that shop, I was off to the left doing my thing. And I had just finished doing that, and I turned around and I'm like, holy shit, am I that far gone, or is this Gandalf? Just like walking up the street.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
man.
Gandalf.
It
Yeah,
was
it was
certainly
Gandalf.
Gandalf, yeah.
I mean, to a point where like you at a Ren fair, obviously you're gonna see some cosplayers and
We had
You know,
seen an
peop-
orc earlier in the day. He had like a full-on mask and it was painted.
I didn't see that.
Like, I mean, it makes sense Ren Fair wise. Like, I should have known that there would be people who are cosplaying in character. You would see like, a Geralt of Rivia or an Assassin's Creed protagonist. Link was walking. Multiple Links were everywhere. I didn't expect that. it was really cool to see. So, seeing Gandalf, I was just like, oh, that's cool. I mean, we had to have him take a picture with Steve just because.
Every Gandalf needs his hobbit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just upset. Like, it would have been great. You could have stepped right up to him and been like,
Bro, if
yo,
you
late.
You're late. I mean, if I was in like outfit, maybe.
So next year's outfit, your character, you're gonna just go Frodo.
A wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he meant to.
Yeah, for those listening, you can't get a visual here.
For those listening, Gandalf's fucking late all the time.
Our boy Steven bears a striking resemblance to Frodo in the movie The Lord of the Rings. An uncanny, resemblance to Frodo.
It would be great for like a cosplay one day. We've always joked about it. And then
it ain't no joke.
And then
I got the hair for it too.
Can you just imagine like Maggie walking behind with her ocarina, just playing the tune?
She can play. Yeah, she can play the Shire theme.
Exactly.
She literally she told me when she got it, she's like, I'm learning the Shire theme. I'm like, cool. And she's like, I'm learning it so I can play it whenever you walk by. And I'm like, all right, less cool.
It's like those convention videos where you see people like walking behind a cosplayer with like a flute playing their opening theme. It's like that kind of thing, but in real life. Like, I never witnessed anything like that, and I do cons for, all the time.
I think we're gonna do next year though. Let's get some coconuts, bang them together.
I feel like we're all gonna be doing our own costumes next year. Steve's already got started.
Damn.
I've already got my sword belt, my drinking mug.
Started.
I've already got a sword.
Yeah, we will get to those purchases. So, after we had our first ale, we were actually witnessing a bard at the time who was slinging very naughty poetry, and it was fantastic. Like, the couple jokes we stayed for, the couple poems, were great.
Oh wait, you passed the part where like we backtracked it and went around and just literally check out the shops, like the blacksmith, chainmail shops, and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, we went to those shops post our first drink. We finished our first drink. We went to the pewter shop. We're going the first.
Oh yeah.
So this is the first way up the road. The pewter shop was one of the first things we hit. We continued up the road to see the other shops, and then we made a U-turn and walked back down those roads to see the shops on the other side. That's actually where we found the place where, certain wooden battle-ready swords were prepared, and the chainmail, like you mentioned, just really cool shops, man. That's where the walking stick place was. That was kind of cool. They sold like brooms and all that. The pelt shop was over there too, like all that leather stuff. It was really cool. We saw so many really awesome shops, and actually there are demonstrations throughout the weekend, like panels where people go to in front of those shops and they like handcraft, like a metal worker will show you how to make a dagger, like for his part, or there'll be a glass blower showing you how to make a glass vase. There's actual artisan demos, which I thought were just insane. Like, this is definitely something I want to dive deeper into next year.
That was really cool to see. Also, like the the parade, they had little parades going around, and full kit.
Yeah, the parade. Yeah, the parade was like the court, like the king and stuff. Like there's a part in the beginning, of the Ren Fair where the king comes out and addresses the people. They have sets for all of this and stages for all of this. But we were so busy walking around in Wonder, we didn't really get to see much of that. Like the official, I guess, anime convention wise, it would be like main programming. But we did get to see like the parade, like the court going through the streets. We were actually in the leather shop buying stuff at the time. It was crazy to see.
Oh my god. What do we do after that?
After the leather shop?
Hunted down some more beer.
Well, yeah, we definitely went for beer.
We were hunting down beer and trying to find our missing Danny boy.
Yeah, Danny had went off to, I think he tried to get a drink somewhere.
He went to go get a drink, yeah.
And that was the first time we lost him.
Well, actually, before we even hit that, this is the part of the story where we, in relation to a video game, we had just left the tutorial area, and the massive sprawling open world map had just been revealed to us because we realized, holy shit, this place is freaking massive.
Yeah,
we
when we got to the
encountered
bridge.
the entire other half of this place.
Yeah.
There's an entire other half that we thought was like the end, but no, it was only the literal beginning to the other half of the fair.
It was really huge. They utilized every part of that park.
By that time, there was a lot more people too. I think it was what 11.
Oh, dude, by like noon, the place was so
Noon?
crowded.
It was
Yeah, it was
packed
around
as
noon.
hell.
Found the other half. We had been wandering the same like small. I don't want to say small section, but in comparison to the whole place, we had been in the same area for like an hour and a half wandering around before even finding out, oh my god, we haven't even seen the other half, the other technically 2/3 of this place yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I took the approach of let's treat it like a convention and go to every booth, but this whole place was booths. It was insane. I had a really good time being there. So I mean, our first actual purchase as a group, aside from beer, was the mugs, right?
Actually, y'all went to go grab mugs because me and um my girlfriend deviated to go use the bathrooms real quick, and then y'all
Yeah.
just kind of wander off.
Oh yeah,
and
you
go
came
get where
back
they're
and
at.
we were kidded.
Yeah, like we were down over there by the jousting area. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Where'd y'all get those mugs from?
All while
And I saw
trying
those
to find the
mugs,
missing Danny boy.
which Daniel was missing for about a good hour, I would say.
It wasn't until beer number 3
Yes.
that we found him eventually. That was right after they went and shot. So let's go to the midway games a little. You guys did knife and axe throwing, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. This was
yes.
still before we hit the other part of the.
Yeah.
I
So
keep
this
wanting
is
to
why
say
we're
the
going
other
back.
island, like I'm like,
Let's go through every bit. So midway games aside, you guys wanted to throw axes. I remember that big time.
yes, because
fun.
you cannot pass up. What was it? $5 for 4 throws.
Yeah, the
For
midway games were
$4 for 5
relatively cheap.
and not a single one of us landed an axe because it is way harder than it looks to throw a axe into a plank of wood.
Especially
Versus a
from that
knife.
kind of distance too.
And I don't think those axes were sharp, so obviously, it's not gonna stick.
Well,
But
not even sharp. One of the ones that I picked up, the entire hatchet part, the head of the axe, had come off, and it was loose. And I handed it back to the guy, and he just like pushed it off to the side and gave me a new one. Like,
yeah,
sir, that's not supposed to happen.
Well,
I think
you also got to
Steven-
understand that like these are volunteers running these games. It's the people in charge of the games that should upkeep the quality of the items. I also noticed that the boards in the back were, despite opening weekend, these were obviously used at another Ren fair. They were very chipped away.
Yeah. I think as for the knife throwing goes, though, to be honest, I think Steven had made one
I got one.
on the top of the board. It
I
was
didn't get a
perfectly, too.
single knife.
I the only one that I made was the one that slipped out of my hand.
I mean,
And-
that worked.
Yeah, well, I threw it, but it slipped out, and it did like a wide, like overarching, like, arch. It went over my head, and then it came down onto the board, and I'm like, cool.
That was my fear the whole time. Was like someone's gonna slip and put an eye out. And once everybody else did it, I was talking shit from the side, so they called me on my shit. So I went and bought 5 knives, and I whiffed everyone.
Yeah.
They smacked against the backboard. I couldn't get like the proper.
You don't have to throw it that hard. You just need to throw it in an arc. You want it to come down.
Yeah, that was very tricky, dude. Like it's not
It's
as
not
simple
like
as
in the movies. The
it's-
movies are a lie.
It's not like the
Exactly.
video games either. Like you see in 007, they're like holding it between their fingers like it's a party trick.
You see it freaking Call of Duty.
Yeah,
It's like a
that's not
one-hit
how that
kill.
works.
You throw it, it fucking hits the backboard, comes back, hits someone on their pinky toe, and they die.
Exactly.
Nonetheless, it was fun.
So they went throwing, and then Danny Boy got lost. Right, we've been making our moves. we recouped with Rosgrease and his girlfriend, and we were just waiting to find, Danny. So we tell him to go to tavern number 3, but before that, you guys played on the archery game as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yes.
did with the longbows.
See, I was even more scared of those than the knife throwing. Like, I was like, oh, someone's definitely getting hurt today.
I talk mad shit. I'm like, okay, I used to archery hunt with a compound bow and this and that. I got it. No, sir. Longbows with no sights is a whole different freaking breed. I tell you what, man. Like, it was difficult alone just trying to, like, shoot it, to be honest.
I had the most difficult time at the start just trying to hold the arrow like above my hand to shoot because I kept wanting to like rest my finger over the arrow just so like to stabilize it without even thinking of like, oh, if I let that go, that's gonna just slice open my entire hand. So like the first 6 shots, because it was a 10 for $6, and I think like the first 5 or 6 arrows I was going for before even letting them off, like I just kept dropping them, like they just fell right in front of me. It was so bad.
TV
Yeah,
makes it look so much easier.
like I was curious. Like, you guys ain't never seen the like I mean, you played Skyrim. It goes over your left hand.
Well, I nailed my last 3, so I finished all right. But man, dude, that I had a terrible start to that. It was rough tidings.
I've never shot a longbow before, but you know what? I'm willing to do it again. That was pretty fun.
Gets nothing but bullseyes next time we go back to the fair.
I'm gonna re up my game.
A real Robin Hood over here.
I actually got footage of that archery session that we had.
Yeah, I've got a little video of that too.
I think my last shot, they had like little plastic tips on the end that like had a little notch where you can like put it in between the strings so it wouldn't move. I think on the last one that I shot,
Broke
the
off.
the the plastic tip, like, it was either broken or it was like crooked. Because when I fired it, it actually took a piece of like the upper, like my thumb knuckle, took a piece of my skin off.
Ooh, you just lost a chip.
Yeah, I literally lost the tip. Like, I fired it and I felt a stinging pain. I hit the back of the thing and then I looked down and I'm like, oh, I'm bleeding.
Oh, that's blood.
A part of you will live on at Scarborough for the next month and a half.
The blood sacrifice.
You've literally left your mark on the fair.
Dude, Raz fired one of his arrows, went like careening off to the left, and there was like a window at the very back of the
Dude,
range.
It
Is
got
that what that
stuck in
thump
there.
was?
Yeah,
Yes.
it went. So
I
instead of
was
going
on
in-
the other side of that window.
Yeah, legitimately.
Smoking.
It literally went into the windowsill, and it was just like a perfect, like, the kind of thing where it hits and then it thrums, like it like wrote like was like thumb.
I
Like that.
heard that sound, and I was like, nope, I'm putting this out. I'm done. I'm leaving this area. We're walking this way.
Yeah, at one point,
They're nearby.
like, he fired and like it went all the way up, and I was like, "Hey, good shot!" And he's like, "What the fuck?"
Was actually really fun. Those longbows are so unbalanced, and you just can't tell like where the arrows are going. Obviously, it's supposed to use wood arrows with feather fletching versus composite aluminum and carbon fiber with plastic fletching. That's a whole different breed. But
So yeah, so
they're
we finally, after the archery, we're trying to figure out what to do. The next move was obvious, regroup, and the jousting was starting too. Maybe we get to see a little bit of that, We told Daniel. I'm saying a lot again. I did that in the first episode, man. So we go and we tell Daniel to meet us at the Cat and Fiddle, right? Because that's the nearest tavern, the nearest landmark to buy beer. That's where you find us.
Yep.
We met up out there. And what does he do right when we get there? Oh, he wants to get in line for mead, of course.
That mead was bussin', bro. I swear.
Both him and Steve came to our little table on the inside of that tavern, double fisting these beers.
Well, that it's a limit of 2 per person, so you know.
Can't hit the limit.
Make the most of it.
Actually, no, I was double fisting that at the cat and
Yeah,
fiddle.
no.
No.
Roz had the
Roz.
same. Roz had the same.
Yeah.
So
He
we
had
were,
a beer in one hand and a meat in the other.
and see, that's a $20 order. We realized later on, which we're going to talk about, that is not the way to get lit at Scarborough. There are many other ways, and this was a very nice trial year, but next year is going to be day drinking 2 all over again.
Electric Boogaloo.
Exactly. I didn't know if I should say
Yes.
that, because I'm like, well, I wonder how podcasting works. Will I get attacked? I don't think so. But yeah, Day Drinking 2, Electric Boogaloo, coming at you at Scarborough 2023 with the boys in costume.
I would avoid getting into the detail about the plan there.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say anything
That's
because
sure.
especially because we're gonna tag and stuff, and Scarborough's gonna be like, "All right, be on the lookout for these guys dressed like this. They
Yes,
are
it's
causing
true.
trouble."
Frodo said he's gonna run around and do shit.
You really should
Frodo,
just
escort
have
him out.
you really should just have like giant feet shoes made.
Nah, I'm just gonna walk around with my bare feet.
That's gonna be painful, dude.
No, what? I'm a hobbit. It's fine.
You know how many rocks and stuff we step on?
So
So?
That
I'm
hurts.
gonna get hate for this. I am going to look into. So I like shoes. I'm a sneakerhead. I like my kicks. I like my custom J's. I drop a lot of money on my J's. Got shoes I don't even wear. They're just in a closet.
This boy buying Yeezys.
No, okay. I like Jordans because they actually look good. I ain't buying Yeezys just because they're Yeezys. I don't do that. But I am probably going to look into because it's going to be really hard for me to find leather boots. Like, let's just be real here. It's going to be really hard for me to find some leather boots to go with the fit for next year for the outfit. You know, the Scarborough costume. I think I'm gonna just walk around in like some Jesus sandals, like some Bethlehem ones.
Dude, yes, do it. It's
Yeah.
in a rag tunic and whatnot.
Like the real Jesus pieces.
Wait,
like-
someone was out there like in a full samurai Ghost of Tsushima type thing.
Dude,
He has
yeah,
G
talk
sandals
about
on.
out of place. It was
This-
cool
this-
though.
It was cool, but this dude was wearing gi sandals, bro. Those things hurt, and I know it from experience. Those things hurt. But anywho, back to the story. What were we? Oh yeah, we were talking about getting food.
So yeah, it was food time, right? Because Daniel was so like he had been drinking so much. Like, dude, out probably easy already had like 5 or 6 drinks. He wanted food, damn it.
No,
Dude
I
did
was-
not buy anything that would help soak up that alcohol, though.
No,
Oh no, yeah, he was toasted. He was done.
His ass out there.
I think Cruz and Steven, y'all bought pickles and some jerky.
Well, that was earlier on in the day. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
talking
that
about
was
like actual
earlier.
lunch. But yeah, man,
That was right before we lost Danny Boy.
some of the best pickles and jerky too, and it was cheap. It was
It was a big old slab.
low.
A slab of jerky.
Big
The freaking
slab
pickle was
of
like
meat.
a buck, and that was one of the best pickles I ever had.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious on where they got them because like that did not
That
taste
ju-
like
that
anything out of the
literally-
store.
That legit just tasted like they made those pickles themselves. But they had a big old tub of pickles they made themselves. Threw a bunch of cucumbers into a vat of vinegar, and just let it go.
It was really good. But yeah,
That thing was crispy.
and
you
some
know-
ice water. And some ice water.
Has some ice water.
yeah, much water
Uh,
was needing to be consumed. Unfortunately, it was more ale than water that day.
That is true. But
That's fine. We call that Irish water.
But yeah, man,
None of them were driving, so it was okay.
Yeah, no, none of us were driving.
that was fantastic. Me not being the driver for once was really cool.
Yeah. Cruz is almost always the driver for a majority of the party, so he got to let loose and drink
Yeah.
the pedal.
that's true.
It was fun.
Oh,
I had a good time.
ooh, dude, those. So going back to food.
Lunchtime, right?
Now, I had a funnel cake before lunch.
Oh, okay.
That
So
was
you were already
alright.
snacking.
I was already. I'm fat, of course.
It's all right. I
But,
snacked later in the day.
That funnel cake was alright. It wasn't the best funnel cake, like fare wise, but it was pretty decent. It was $7.50 for a freaking funnel cake.
I mean, depending on the size, that's not a bad price.
And don't get me started on turkey legs, bro. Those
Well,
things were $14 a pop.
you could have went to the bakery and just hit the peasant bread for like $1.50.
I didn't see that. I didn't see
It was
bakery.
probably just hard, unflavored bread, just literal,
Hardtack.
yeah. But it was like $2.50.
I was probably down with some
And you
bread
could
anyway.
add things to it though, but like the base present bread, whatever that was like $2.50. It was dirt cheap.
Tempting when to hit all the food stalls next time we go.
Oh yeah, man, the food stalls are fantastic. So my lunch was a foot-long smoked sausage on a pretzel.
Because
For
I
the
never
younger
see-
crowd who won't know what he's talking about, the man got a foot long glizzy on a stick.
You people and your Fortnite references, man. I can't keep up sometimes.
And then me and Steven had what do we had? Gyros. We had gyros for like $7.
Cringe. He said gyros.
Gyros. I don't know how to say it.
Euro.
My,
Gyro.
my heart hurts.
Gyro.
My heart hurts.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys want to get some gyros? Maybe we'll get some gyros with some jalapenos on them.
Oh no! Stop.
You
Oh,
stop.
no.
You started it.
I can't pronounce it. I never had one of those before, so
It's Euro or Hero.
gyro.
And if you've never had a real gyro, you
I don't
should
think
go out
it's-
and get one.
We
It's
got
like you.
burned.
I think you put like a slight H on it. It's like Hero.
Something like that. Anyway,
So Danny took Illusion off for his lunch.
Yeah, we went and we just were hungry and we wanted a steak on a steak.
So a literal slab of meat.
on the stick.
A steak, but served on a stick. On a steak. But it was, I don't know, it was like the most lackluster experience in my eyes. Kind of bummed. Steak was Like, okay, I guess for a fair, like for fair food, it was good because most places, like most fairs, don't have steak as an option. Like, nowhere can you go and get a 10-ounce at, I don't know, some normal fair. But
Mhm.
it was cool, I guess.
I feel like you would have been better off at like one of the potato stands or
I was, because you had to walk past the place where you can get pretty much anything stuffed into a potato.
Like I don't know what they were tamale pie was, but I was about to find out.
bro,
don't
they
know.
had Renaissance fajitas.
I'm pretty sure it was like beef tamales, like 2 beef tamales on top of like a bed of Frito chips and chili. with
Either
cheese.
that or like I'm curious what the pasta is going to be like. They had a whole world of nothing but pasta over there.
Yeah, I saw the pasta restaurant. There were some actual restaurants that you could go into and order food.
I wanted bread, meat, and vegetables that I could eat while standing up, and I got that.
I also got that, man. That
You're damn good,
jalapeno
Euro.
pretzel dog was loaded with freaking bell peppers and onions too.
Now your thing looked really good, but when it comes to like sausage, it's always a toss up if I'm gonna like it or not.
It was actually really good. I had a bite of my girlfriend's.
He is very peculiar on the
And
glizzies he eats.
it was pretty good.
I don't like hot dogs.
I'm with you.
You
Hot
know,
dogs kind of
like
gross
ballpark
me out.
franks and stuff. I hate those.
Regular hot dogs, yes. Smoked sausage, it's got to be the right kind. 'Cause you can buy smoked sausage that's like, this tastes like a hot dog, you know?
Yeah, there are like hot dogs there are like sausages out there that straight up taste like bologna. So I'm always like, I'm never gonna go somewhere and then spend money on like a big like hot sausage, like whatever, like hot dog with a sausage on it. I can't, because I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, and I'm not wasting my money on that.
Yeah, this was a 12-ounce, really good quality
If it's gonna
sausage.
be a sausage, it's gotta have good quality meat and it's gotta be spiced right. If it just tastes like a ballpark frank, I'm gonna end up throwing it up.
Exactly.
There's a
that's-
lot of sausage talk in here.
That's those sausages did had a little kick to it though. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
$7
it was good. And it was filling.
Yeah,
All right.
quite jelly actually.
So once we were stuffed, we had to go do our Monster Museum tickets, right?
No,
Uh,
we started walking around to
We
the
started
other
walking
side.
towards the Monster Museum tickets.
yeah, we kind of slowly backtracked our way over there.
But Daniel stopped the party. Oh wait, we hit the sword shop first.
Yeah, we did.
We did. And then we hit the other sword shop with all the helmets and stuff.
So that reasonably priced one that Steve made his purchases at, I was very tempted to blow money, but I'm also like, you're gonna be broke. Don't do it. And I was looking at like Longclaw, and I was looking at Rebellion, honestly, which is stupid for a Ren Fair, but it looked really cool.
I was going to get Longclaw, but then I saw a Witcher sword, and I grabbed that instead.
Plus, the Witcher sword was also 20 cheaper than Longclaw. For $25, you got a pretty nice
That was a good deal.
prop sword.
Had I
It's not a
bought
sword
the
you would use for combat.
I'm gonna say this right now. Had I not bought the leather belt, I definitely would have bought the Crescent Rose that was there.
Ruby
It was a really
Sight.
good. It was a really good quality Crescent Rose for like $120,
Yeah.
and it was the perfect size for me that I could crossplay Ruby.
That was a really good weapon store. I liked how all their stuff was meant to be like cosplay props. You know, you're not meant to fight with them. You're not meant to stick them in the ground. They're not toys.
They're just meant to look really like the picture that I took of the Witcher sword I got. Everyone thought it was a real sword.
Yeah, it's a cosplay prop.
Like, no, it's just a really well-made foam sword.
It's also a cosplay prop that, because it's made of hard foam like that, you would be able to take it and wear it around a convention, and it's safe to wear around the floor.
It's got it's hard foam, but there's also a what do you call it?
PVC tube, wires.
No. There's something in the middle. It's like a core. It's like a hard, like composite or something like that.
It's composite. It's a core.
Composite,
It's exactly what you said. It's the core. Every weapon needs a core.
It's a really like good composite core though. When I like tried to see how flexible it was. It's not flexible at all. That shit feels like metal. Like it feels as sturdy as metal, but it's light as plastic.
It's probably like PVC pipe or something.
Whatever it is, it's good as shit.
And it was a really good store for that kind of stuff. I was tempted to drop dollars there myself.
I wanted to drop a fucking helmet, bro.
Dude, them straight up Swagger Souls looking helmets.
For real.
Very tempting to just get one just for dumb Twitch reasons. Like
Illusion, how
5,000 channel points, put on the helmet.
Oof.
Have to play the game with a big old Crusaders helm.
For real.
I'm holding my sword right now, and I got my mug in the other. I feel good.
I don't know about y'all. I can't wait to take the mugs to a convention and just drink on the convention floor.
Someone is getting a call.
I know, I turned it off. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to go to a convention and like take my mug belt clipped to me onto the convention floor. And then, whenever I need a cup, I've got one. I'll just open up my backpack, pour my grog, close the backpack, boom.
We need to get something scribed so we can just go around the convention on some hear ye, and like make the announcements of whatever it is we want.
The royal declaration of, you know,
The boys.
we out here.
We out here. Yep.
The next con is going to be good, man. I think it's, the next one I'm attending anyway is the end of June. I'm trying to attend Anime Fest.
We shall proclaim it to all the land. The Royal Council of the Boys do hereby decree. We out here. We really out here. Good day.
I legit want to get a commission from that scribe that says we out here. Like, I'm dead ass serious about it.
I mean, it'd be good to just carry from party to party and place it upon the mantle.
Yes.
Whenever the boys arrive, we out here.
With like a holy grail of some sorts or whatever. But
So Daniel stopped the party on the way to the Monster Museum.
Again.
And he told me he wanted to stop into the tavern, the only place there that sells liquor. And he said, I want to drink. And I was like, well, unless you're buying for the crew, we ain't stopping. And he goes, well, fine, I'll just get one for everybody. And he pulls out $100 bill. So we all decide, okay, drinks on Danny Boy. We get into the Rose and Crown, and man, that's where we realized that we'd been getting hosed the entire, event on booze.
Yeah, this was the place to be at. Like, it was an actual bar setting.
They had
Guys,
sea
compared to the
shanties going on inside. They had wenches serving you, picking up the drinks and taking them to your table. You could get food there. They were a restaurant.
They did. The sea shanties. For those of you listening who are into the folk music, like we mentioned earlier, they were blasting "Miracle of Sound" on the radio or like on the speakers. They do a lot of instrumental work. They do soundtracks for a lot of movies, TV shows. If you've ever watched any sort of pirate show, Viking show, old English, like, any sort of thing like that, there's a good chance that their music has been in that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, they had that going. And then as we approached the bartender said the greatest thing you could ever want to hear from a bartender. Singles are 11, because they asked about, the prices of like certain alcohol. And then each of these bottles were the same price. Like, you could get the low end tequila they had, or you could get the Don Julio, and it would have been the same price, $11 a shot. However, he said $11 for a single, $2 more, and you get a double. Now, those are the magic words, because you're already paying a lot. You're saving like $7-8 on this shot. No, $9 on this shot by just paying $2 more. Immediately, we knew that the crew had to get doubles. This guy, I ordered a Kraken and Dr. Pepper, right? And he goes, a double Kraken and Dr. Pepper, by the way. And he goes, great drink. And I'm like, yeah, it's the one I take on the convention floor all the time. And he's like, yeah. Starts to pour it, right? Here's the deal. He pours a single, and then a double, and then a triple. And then he stops and he's like, oh, that's almost all liquor. Is that okay? And I'm like, I like this man. So he splashes the Dr. Pepper on top. And I've got this, 9-10 ounces of rum and 2 ounces of soda in my mug after that. I was just a very happy man. I don't remember what Daniel got. It was some, probably just like a whiskey Coke. Oh no, he got a rum and Coke, I think. He got a Captain Morgan though. Which, I mean, you're missing out on Kraken. It's just much heavier, more bang for your buck. But yeah, he bought the next rounds. You two are up next, right?
After that, Steven and I, we actually went with the house specialty, which was called
Viking
Saxon's
Blood.
Saxon's Blood. Yeah. Which I honestly don't even remember what was in it because I didn't watch him pour it.
I didn't. I knew that there was grenadine, or no?
Yeah, that's how you
it's
got the red in there.
Rose. It was rose. Something.
It might have been rosé, like rosé wine.
No. It was the like rosé liqueur.
Elderflower liqueur.
It's got 2 roses on it, and it's red. It's red.
Oh, isn't that a whiskey? Isn't that Wild Rose?
No.
2 roses and it's red. I should know this.
You should.
It definitely wasn't whiskey that was in it because it was either vodka or gin based because it didn't taste like tequila. But I didn't watch what was in it. But it was just like the most beautiful dark red beverage. It tasted like juice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look up what that is.
4 Roses is a bourbon, so it wasn't that.
It definitely. It was a clear liquor for sure.
It looked like it was a variation of a screwdriver with some grenadine and maybe a type of syrup, some agave nectar or something in there for like a sweetness.
Yeah, but it was also strong and boozy, and it was just so good.
Yeah, that guy knows what he's doing, man. I was like, man, we could have chilled in the tavern all day long.
Yeah, the second walked up to the counter after Cruz and Danny Boy were done making their order. We're just like, so do you have any like specialty drinks we can only get here? Instantly goes, oh yeah.
Yeah.
How about Jackson's Blood? It was like, this guy already knows.
Trust your bartender, everybody. They know what they're doing.
Like the look on this guy's face, like I'm about to fuck this man's world up.
Oh, I straight up said, "Oh, by the way, can we make him a double?" And he looked me dead in the eye and said, "You don't need that." He's like, "You don't need it to be." And I'm like, "What?"
Damn.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
Dude was straight up like, "Yeah, you don't need it to be."
But yeah, he buys the round and then off to the Monster Museum.
That was really
Well,
fun.
Did we hit the sword shop before or after the museum?
After.
After. Okay, so Monster
No,
Museum
but it was before. It was before.
Yeah, I remember wanting to make sure that Illusion
It was
got
before.
his sword.
I have a picture of a botchling from The Witcher. I'm holding my sword up to it.
Oh yes.
No,
someone
I
had a
meant
picture
when we
of
got
me.
Illusion's sword.
Oh no, that was after.
That
Okay,
was after.
so the Monster Museum is next then, like canonically.
Yes.
All right, yeah, this dude, man, just the guy doing the attraction, you could tell that these were really, like, out there actors. Like, dude, the actors at this fair have to love their job.
Yeah.
Like that one guy on the Dunk-A-Winch, man, like, he was just hurling insults all day long.
Yeah, I was really hyped up about the Monster Museum. I bought my ticket for this the night that we decided we were going to spontaneously go to the fair the following morning. And like as you're buying the tickets, they try to upsell you on like add this ticket for the beer tasting, add the wine tasting ticket, add the
Typical
VIP packages and whatnot.
typical festival. Like if you're going to a beer festival or like a margarita fest, they're going to show you even a music festival, they're going to show you the little bits and bonuses.
Yeah, and
Buy
like
this meet and greet, buy this, side event.
yeah, I'm not into like all those, so I'm just like clicking no here, skipping here, closing out a window here, and then this one jumps out in front of me, and it's like Monster Museum exhibition. Add $2, like $2, like what? Like okay, now they got my attention because all this other crap was like an extra $30-$40, and then they go and throw this. This one's only $2, you cheap bastard. Click on it, and yeah, it's like a giant. It's a monster exhibit. You walk through it. It's a bunch of demos of like 3D rendered or like 3D models. Of different creatures, and it was just a really cool little museum to walk through.
I was surprised at how big it was because it had a second room and everything. I think that's about it. So in a send off, you guys want to say anything about yourselves?
I'm this guy's younger brother. That's all I could. That's it.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
I don't think Raz has anything to plug.
Nope.
Illusion, do you want to plug anything before we head out today?
Yeah. I book shows here locally in the North Texas area.
And by shows, you're not talking about Ren Fair.
No, I am talking about our local music scene here in the DFW area. So yeah, we're out here. Go to a music show, support your local artists, hit up a band, buy some merch, share some songs, share some music.
Heck yeah, man. We'll be doing an episode with some more details on your June show once everything's all squared away. And we will try to rush that episode out. Even if it's like episode 5 in the rotation and we're only on episode like 3 or 2, I'll just move it up to make sure that there's at least some semblance of promotion on it. And we can just cross promo and do all that. But yeah, more from Obsidian Rose in the future. And hopefully more from all of these guys in a future episode. So thank you guys for listening. And we will see you all probably in about 2 weeks. I'll get an upload schedule at some point. I'm thinking 2 weeks is pretty fair. But we'll see. But yeah, if you're not home by now, you need to get a better commute. And, enjoy your ride home. The Ride Home Podcast, THR logo, and intro tracks are original products of Trigger Happy Projects Media Group. Please do not duplicate or distribute without permission.